Alrighty, welcome back to Perspective with Zane Foy. Today's episode, I feel like, is going to be a touchy one, but it's relevant, and this is a deep one that I really want to talk about because people need to hear this. People need to hear. Young men need to hear this. Men without, teachable figures in their life or role models or father figures. This is something that I think society is poisoned. And let me preface this real quick. The topic we're going to be talking about today is when men should and should not be vulnerable. Okay? I'm going to say that again. When men should and should not be vulnerable. Let me preface this right now. If there is anything you take from this podcast, it needs to be this. It needs to be this. The relationship advice, the relationship-based media, the drama, the hot takes, the opinions that you see on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you decide to hang out, do not take that advice unless you specifically know the person giving it knows their fucking shit. Everybody on this planet has an opinion, and most people on this planet want to be loved. And therefore, by default, we can assume that most people on this planet have an opinion on how to be, get, or receive love. And within this giant genre of conversation is when men should and should not be vulnerable. And on one side of the spectrum, you have people who say men should be open, they should be vulnerable, they shouldn't be afraid to cry. And on the other end of the spectrum, you say men should be cold, they should be bitter, they should be tough, they should be rocks. I don't think either is the answer. I mean, if you're nothing but vulnerable and incredibly weak, what's the point of your masculinity? But on the other hand, if you're nothing to be stone cold and mean and angry and bitter, then what the fuck is the point of being alive, enjoying life, enjoying beauty? How do you celebrate beauty when you're just this cold, heartless being? And I'll be honest with you, I've been both. I've been the weak, cried all the time guy, and I've been the bitter, I feel fucking nothing guy either. And I'm going to be honest with you, both suck miserably. Both are fucking horrible. I was suicidal both times. Don't do either one. You have to learn how to gauge it. So we'll get into this. But I just wanted to tell you that, hey, really be cognizant of what you see on social media and what type of advice and input and media you're digesting, because a lot of it is fucking wrong, inaccurate, toxic, and poisonous, especially because it targets you. It's going to tell you something that your fucked up mentality needs to hear. But if you're already fucked up, you're probably looking for the wrong information. So stop. No, Bubbas. Come on, you know better. My cat's going crazy. Play with you after, okay? Okay. Daddy's got to do a podcast. Okay, so when men should and should not be vulnerable. We're going to keep this split into two different sections. And one, and obviously we're talking about relationships. When should you be vulnerable to, your girl? I think in a setting of men with men, you should be able to be open and vulnerable. But be careful with the men you're open and vulnerable with. Some men are toxic and weak and will use that against you. And then some men are comfortable and support you and are there to help you out. So men with men is a lot easier and a lot more forgiving than men to women, and it's a lot less complicated. So get that out of the way. When you're with your bros, your family, your blood, do as you please. You're there to love and support each other. And if you think someone has ill intent, obviously, do not open up to them. You don't have to be super bright to figure that one out. Okay, so when to be open with women, because, women say they want you to be open, and then you see all the time that men are open, and then women reject them, right? Women do not want to be your therapist. They do not want to be your mother. They do not want to be your babysitter. They do not want to be your caretaker. They want to feel your strength. And so obviously if they have to be your therapist and they have to be your mother and they have to be your babysitter, you're not being very strong, right? Okay. So we'll split this into two sections. And one is dating. And I mean not in a relationship, not exclusive. You're dating, you're courting, you're talking, okay? If you are dating or courting or talking to a girl, flat out, do not be vulnerable. Keep it to yourself. There are times when you get into a relationship and it's going to be important for you to communicate and to reveal certain truths about who you are and where you came from, right? You cannot hide your background and you shouldn't have to. But when you are dating or you are courting and a woman is not in love with you, keep that shit to yourself. Trust me. Keep that shit to yourself. Because if she does not absolutely, I'm going to keep this real fucking simple. If she does not absolutely fucking love you, like married, have kids, I want to spend the rest of my life with you type shit. If she does not love you, she doesn't deserve to know. This is your vulnerability. This is your heart. This is your pain, your suffering. You're so excited. You have so much energy. Oh my gosh, go, be free. Sorry, my cat is going crazy. She doesn't deserve to know, dude. She doesn't deserve to know. And also, that's a hard fucking burden to get thrown onto your shoulders when you haven't fallen in love with someone. As a man, I can tell you multiple times, multiple times, I've been with women who basically tell me their life story on the first date, and I'm like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do it now? Granted, it can be a compliment because it means they're safe around you. They like you. They enjoy you. They feel comfortable around you. However, that's a lot to feel as if you're supposed to help them. People have this, innate instinct to support. And it's difficult to get thrown that kind of weight on your shoulders from someone you've just met. So if you're dating or you're courting, you're not serious, and she's not absolutely fucking in love with you, keep it to yourself. Keep it light. Keep it easy. Keep it loving. Keep it simple. Okay. I apologize. I'm trying to play fetch with Nico right now. Nico's my cat. I'm playing fetch with him. But he's bringing me this. I got him this like toy with like a cool like string and a toy at the end of it. He ripped it apart. But I kept the stick, and I just had this twine in a drawer, so I tied twine to it. It's his favorite fucking thing in the world now. So he just carries this stick around. And he likes to play tug of war, but we're playing fetch with it right now. I promise I will play with you as soon as I'm done, buddy. Okay? I promise. Okay. So you're dating, you're courting, not in a serious relationship. She's not in love with you. Keep it to yourself. Trust me. Keep it to yourself. Because at the end of the day, she doesn't deserve to know. This is valuable information. You keep close to your chest, right? Got to protect yourself. Okay. Now, if you are in a relationship and you are serious with this person, again, and I mean in love, okay? You guys are, the whole nine. You're close, you're there, you're comfortable, you're willing to accept this person, through sickness and in health, for better or for worse. There's going to be trauma in a lot of relationships nowadays because we come from a difficult generation of parenting. There's going to be trauma that you might need to address within your relationship. And you have to be able to communicate that. Now, if it's something you can fix on your own, you can keep it to yourself. Because there is no incredible value in sharing information that your significant other doesn't need to know. There's no significant value in just putting weight on their shoulders that they really cannot affect, help, or support with. It's just something for them to know, right? It's space that just doesn't belong there. Now, if your insecurities, your traumas, or your vulnerabilities, whatever it might be, is causing a problem in the relationship, and is getting in the way, then It is your partner's right to know, right? Because you are taking care of their heart now. They've said they love you. They have given you their heart. You are now holding your heart as well as theirs. So if there's something they need to be aware of, you should make them aware of it. But there's a way to do this. There's a way to go about this. If you open up and address your insecurity in a state of helplessness, hopelessness, you need to accept me because nothing will change, that's not going to go well. That is not going to go well. You never want to tell someone you have to accept my fucking bullshit. Especially if it's bullshit. Like, no, you are there to grow with each other. Do not openly admit you do not want to fucking grow or improve or work on the shit you need to work on. And a lot of it might not be your fault, but guess what? It's your fucking problem. So do not ever open up about traumas and insecurities in this headspace of accept me. I'm fucked up. No, absolutely not. No, especially because your partner's not going to want you to accept it. They don't want to see you fucking accept defeat. They love you. They want to see you thrive. They want to see you, blossom. They don't want to see you just fucking decay in your own shit. So if you're going to bring it up in a positive, actionable, I want to make a difference, I want to grow, I want to improve state of mind. Okay, you want to bring a optimistic, positive growth mentality, growth mindset. You do not want to burden them with your shit and make them accept you. But what you can do is say, hey, I'm dealing with something. I know this is bad and I know this isn't healthy and I want to fix it because I think it's affecting us. And obviously I love you. I love myself. And I think this is something I would like to overcome and I need to overcome. And if you are with somebody that genuinely loves you and they're there to support you the same, like I said, they're in love with you through sickness and in health, for better or for worse, they will be without a doubt 100% fucking game to help you out. They will support you where they can. Okay? But it is now your responsibility. You got some skin in the game. It's your job to actually make a difference. It is now your job to make that growth. Because that weight is going to eat at them. It's going to be hard for them. It's not going to be easy. And you do not want to wear them out. It's not their fucking problem. But they love you and they're willing to help. And you can get to a better place if you can work together. And sometimes you have to work together. But you have to make that progress. You really need to work on it. You really need to focus. You really got to do what you got to do. And communicate through love. Communicate. Fucking communicate. Do not come from a place of fear. Do not hide these things. Communicate. Now, I feel like I had something that I reminded myself of in the middle of all that, and I was going to come back to it, and I'm forgetting what it was. Huh. Oh, it's like right, dude, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I hate this. This is going to bother me forever. It'll come back to me. But you have to communicate and you have to be willing to support that movement, especially because if you would be willing to do it for your partner, you would want them to be willing to do it for you. And you might have to do that for them. Oh, I remembered it. Oh my God, it came back to me. Yay. Okay. If you're in a relationship where you have a certain insecurity, but the partner you are with is secure in the same place, okay, you're insecure, they're secure, you will start to grow and adopt their security. They can actually heal you if you do it properly. They can heal you. You will learn from them. The most common one is relationship insecurity, abandonment. Someone who's afraid of being abandoned might be with someone who's not afraid of being abandoned or feels safe, you know? And if you can communicate and work together, you can actually teach your partner to experience the same safety that you feel. as they spend more and more time with you. It's the same thing as picking up lingo and communication and mannerisms that your friends and family do. You know, you hang around certain people, you start to pick up on their patterns. Same thing with behavior and psychology, with insecurity and things that might bother you or disturb you, things you're struggling with. Addictions. I have a wonderful, wonderful podcast on this episode with J.R. Harvey, who owns and runs this beautiful, beautiful brand called King's Community or Nice Guy No More, I think it's now called on TikTok. But he talks about his addiction and opening up to his wife, and his wife was just the most supportive person in the world, and he overcame that addiction. And I would imagine their relationship reaped a lot of benefits because of it. So when your lack of vulnerability is damaging to your relationship, you need to communicate, but communicate from a place of strength. There is a piece to this that I feel a lot of people don't really talk about, which is that communicating vulnerability does not necessarily mean you're communicating weakness. Okay, I can be vulnerable to a gunshot and still have the balls to stand in front of the gun. Sometimes talking about vulnerability is simply putting the cards on the table so you can come up with a plan. And when you can frame it that way, if anything, I would find that more attractive. Because if you're hiding something from your partner, you're hiding vulnerabilities, you're hiding insecurities, they're going to know. Especially if they love you, they probably know a lot about you and have a lot of time spent with you, I would hope. They're going to know. And your lack of openness and vulnerability does nothing but show fear, especially if it's not something you're improving with. If they do nothing, if they simply just witness you struggling all the time and you won't talk about it, that's fear. That's scary. That's terrifying. But when you really start to feel it's affecting the relationship and it becomes a big deal, say, hey, I want to talk about something. I got this fucking problem. It needs to be fixed for you and for me because you deserve the best and I deserve the best. And right now, because of this problem that I'm dealing with, we're not getting the best. So if you can help me with this, great. And honestly, I'm going to be fucking real with you. You should be working on yourself anyways. But if someone doesn't want to help you through it, that's their choice. That is their choice. It is not their job to fix you. But on that same hand, if someone really fucking loves you, they're going to be there. They're going to be there. And if they decide not to be there, don't be hateful. Don't be mean. Don't be rude. Let them go with love. With love. All right? There's a new bus every 15 minutes. You'll be fine. But you do need to work on those things. Especially because if you don't fix it, it's going to be damaging to your next relationship and your next relationship and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, let's recap this real quick. If you are single and you are simply dating or courting or going, you're just flirting with some girls and you're going on dates and all this stuff, blah, 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 keep your shit to yourself. It's important, serious stuff close to your chest. Keep your hand close to your chest. Because they don't deserve to know. Not yet. Not until it becomes paramount. If you're in a serious relationship and you're dealing with stuff that is not affecting the relationship and you can fix it on your own, fix on your own. Own that shit. Fix that shit. Get over it. Move on. If you're in a relationship and your problems are obviously affecting the relationship, communicate. But frame it from a place of action and positivity. Frame it from a place of success, not from a place of helplessness and hope to be accepted. If you guys have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram or email me, zanefoy@zanefoyofficial.com. If you have problems in life, situation issues, you need insight, or there's something you'd like me to talk about, whatever it might be, please do not hesitate to reach out or find a way to contact me. I am always happy to help. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and yeah. Much love, God bless, and enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.